All right, we are live. Thank you, folks, for being here. I grew up in the last green valley, where the hills roll to the Atlantic, and you can't see more than a mile up ahead till you reach the ocean vast. From the top of Bear Mountain, I can see autumn leaves scattered like a patchwork. That Connecticut Valley grace to me. There are times the grass seems greener on the other side. We tap our heels, we close our eyes, so sure of the yellow brick road, so sure of the Emerald City. Every road I travel leads me back to that New England home. I am made of Connecticut hills, I am made of Connecticut color. I've seen London Bridge, Lake Michigan, wild horses and Chincoteague. The Blue Ridge Mountains took my breath away, but at the end of the yellow brick road, no place I'd rather be, no place like home. I'm Connecticut grown. They've got a Mark Twain's house, lake compounds, the Beardsley Zoo, Hammonasset State Park, Long Island Sound, the Mystic Seaport too. Lobster shacks, lighthouses, waterfalls, and even castles. I am made of Connecticut hills, I am made of Connecticut color. I've seen the palace of Versailles, Mount Everest, Niagara Falls, and Stonehenge. The redwood forest took my breath away. At the end of the yellow brick road, no place I'd rather be, no place like home. I'm Connecticut grown, Connecticut grown, Connecticut grown, Connecticut grown, Connecticut, Connecticut, Connecticut grown. Thanks, folks, so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here. And thanks so much to New Jersey Folk Project for hosting me tonight. I also want to thank Gary for helping out and hosting the chat for y'all. And Kathy for getting me all set up with sound tonight. It's really great to be here. I see we've already got some requests coming in, Stuart. I can definitely play that tune in a little bit. All right, this is a tune, a fairly new tune that I co-wrote with a fellow named John Dolman. It's a little song about camping. The day is long, the light is dimmer. You set up camp, your supper simmers. Sun is setting, pale blues and golds, orange and pinks, colors explode. The campfire lit, and stories told. The flask is passed while laughs are bold. Darkness slides in, a loon calls out. The breeze gentle, joy leaves no doubt. The walls of a tent, so thin and light, they stop no sounds in the dark of the night. The outsider so fresh, it feels just right, but never quite the not quite silent night. Father Sky wakes up the Milky Way. The farthest stars are on display. Rituals dispensed, the fire is done, campsite cleaned up, the food bag hung. Our daylight friends have gone to sleep. Squirrel and sparrow are counting sheep, but there are some who rise at night to hunt for things that fear the light. The walls of a tent, so thin and light, they stop no sounds in the dark of the night. The outsider so fresh, it feels just right, but never quite the not quite silent night. The forest floor moves, you hear leaves crunch, looking for food. The mice smell lunch, you hear the owl talking to the trees. Hunt for those mice who think they can't see. Slow, methodical, porcupine brows. He walks through camp, no fear of the owl. Then you hear the howl from across the lake. First just one, then all awake. They sing at night, blessings for few, to hear the wolves, now they're a crew. The walls of a tent, so thin and light, they stop no sounds in the dark of the night. The outsider so fresh, it feels just right, but never quite the not quite silent night. Ooh, no, it's never quiet, the not quite silent night. Thank you, folks. Thanks, Mom. I see my mom tuned in. She likes that tune a lot. I appreciate the support. It's always nice to have some family support. All right, so I think several of you do know me already. Some of you might not. My name is Kayla Farnham. I'm a Connecticut-based singer-songwriter born and raised in Connecticut, and I'm currently serving as the Connecticut State Troubadour, which might be a role that's somewhat familiar in this community. If you're not familiar, the State Troubadour is the ambassador of music in the state of Connecticut, and it's dedicated to promoting culture through song. So I decided I would write a series of tunes inspired by Connecticut trailblazers, Connecticut heroes, technically this tune is the first in the series, although it was written several years before I became troubadour. And this is Stuart's request. It's called David. David sat across from me one cold November afternoon. The look in his eye carried me to a place that he once knew. Daddy left when he was 4 months old. Hasn't seen him since then, maybe when he's older. Lived in a shelter, Mama worked a 15-hour day, so they wouldn't take her only baby away. Everywhere they moved, he was the new kid at school. The bullies and the bruise, they all made sure that he knew. When Mama tried to help, it only made the matter worse when the bruises showed up darker the next day. So David learned to smile and say, Mama, I'm okay. David was a smart kid. He knew he had to do something. One day he rallied up all the other bullied ones. Said there's strength in numbers and together we can fight this. And they did. Nobody's bothered those kids since. That's how David learned to fight for justice. David joined the army out of high school. They taught him duty, honor, service, sacrifice. He painted crimson X's on the houses, counted up the casualties. Now there's things he saw that he just can't unsee. I know it hurts when he closes his eyes, reliving the times he had to fight for his life. If there's nothing I can say to take the nightmares away, I'll be here on the other side to prove there's life beyond these old bruises. David sat across from me one cold November afternoon. He opened up his eyes and he came to, and he said, sometimes it's gonna hurt when you close your eyes. You're living the times you had to fight for your life. If there's nothing we can do but to see each other through, I'll be here on the other side to prove there's life beyond these old bruises. Life beyond these old bruises. So open up your eyes, 'cause you are home. Thanks so much, folks. That's a good question, Gary. Troubadours in other states. I've heard that Texas had a state troubadour, at least in the past. But I always wondered to myself how the Texas troubadour would get around that massive state. Connecticut, it's pocket sized. It's easy to make my way from one end to the other. All right, this is another fairly new tune. This is a tune about traveling. It's called American Drifter. She lit her last smoke through oil-stained hands, sitting on the curb at the traveler station, next to a rusted truck propped up on off-road wheels. The last train's mud fresh on the grill guard. She's made of wanderlust. She rolls like a stone, on and on across the burning road. American drifter. She took her last puff, stomped out the flame, shook her head as she sized me up. She had a weathered tan and a butch cut. I must have looked like a rookie to her, with my AAA card, a wagon on wheels, ponytail and a sunburn. She's made of wanderlust. She rolls like a stone, across the burning road. American drifter. 1,000 miles from home, I curse the road for playing jokes. Then she walks up to me, box of tools and WD, tosses me a trucker hat, sunscreen and a cigarette, and she said, "You look a whole lot like a younger me. You're made of wanderlust. You roll like a stone, on and on and on across the burning road. You're made of wanderlust. You roll like a stone, on and on across the burning road. American drifter, American drifter, American drifter, American drifter." I lit my last smoke through oil-stained hands, sitting on the curb at the traveler's station. Thank you so much. So this next tune is one that I wrote while I was flying back from Key West, Florida. I'd had the opportunity to visit the Ernest Hemingway house down there. And the incredible thing about this home I found is that Hemingway wrote 70% of his works there. He said that he found a kind of inspiration in that particular home that he couldn't find anywhere else. So it brought to mind this idea that a place can be a source of creation, that without that place, something might never have existed. A few blocks down from mile zero, in a sun-washed fishing town, above the tangled roots of the banyan trees where the six-toed cats abound, there's a house built of native stone and pilgrim spirit's heart. 16 feet above the sea, where Ernest's heart poured out. If you build it, they will come. It takes one part stone to pilgrim heart. Honey, you can start nothing till the foundation's laid down. If you build it from the ground up, the rest will come. There's a clarity in paradise, and this house was made to hold it. Amidst these coral limestone walls excavated from the island, there's something about a home that's built from the groundwork up. They say the builder never really leaves, their spirit lingers on. If you build it, they will come. It takes one part stone to pilgrim heart. Honey, you can start nothing till the foundation's laid down. If you build it from the ground up, the rest will come. Last night I saw Hemingway's ghost step out on the balcony. I guess once a home finds you, it keeps a piece of you inside it. If you build it, they will come. It takes one part stone to pilgrim heart. Honey, you can start nothing till the foundation's laid down. If you build it from the ground up, if you build it from the ground up, if you build it from the ground up, the rest will come. Thanks to those of you that have thrown in a tip. I really appreciate it. This tune's inspired by the story of Little Red Riding Hood. got a little twist to it. It's called My Kind of Fairy Tale. Little girl in a big red coat with a basket of bread in the woods all alone. What will you do when he catches your scent, Miss Fearless and trusting and heaven sent? Mama warned you to stay on the path in the big dark woods. You gotta watch your back. They'll say when he catches you that it's all your fault. Pretty little girls like you shouldn't walk alone. And she laughs as she says to me, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I go where I please. No big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. That's my kind of fairy tale. She don't need a savior, she's got this herself. Underneath a big red coat is a little black belt. Underneath the bread and the butter and the fruit is a switchblade at the ready. And she laughs as she says to me, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I go where I please. No big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I see you walking out like it ain't nothing. Everybody wants a taste of her confidence, singing, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf. No big bad wolf, no big bad wolf. Ooh, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. I go where I please. Ooh, no big bad wolf, no big bad wolf is gonna get me. That's my kind of fairy tale. That's my kind of fairy tale. That's my kind of fairy tale. Thank you. Thanks so much, Jim. It's so nice to see some folks on here who were attending my weekly live streams a few years back. It's good to see you back here. All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to play one on the guitar. So this one is a tune that I wrote after I watched the Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary. Cornell University, 1950. I was the first year woman in a class of 500 men. At the so-called welcome dinner, The dean asked me to stand up, asked me what was I doing, taking a seat that could belong to a man. And I was a girl, I kept up with the boys, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. I run head to head with every man, not because I'm different, but because every woman can. Some call me a good witch, some call me a bad witch, some call me a monster, some call me a queen. I call it as I see it, call out for equality. Mama said, whatever you do, be a lady, be independent, be able to fend for yourself. And I ask no favor for my gender, all I ask of my brethren is that they take their feet off our necks. Some call me a good witch, some call me a bad witch, some call me a monster, some call me a queen. I call it as I see it, call out for equality. There will be no second-class citizens. Together we will rise up and fight with a quiet confidence. Some call me a good witch, some call me a bad witch, some call me a monster, some call me a queen. I call it as I see it, call out for equality. Equality. Thank you so much, folks. This guitar, it's actually one of my childhood guitars. It's my old Yamaha. It looks bluish on screen. I think it's from the lighting I have set up, but it's my little black Yamaha that I grew up with, and I just happened to get it set up recently for the first time in many years, and now I'm falling in love with it all over again, and I really liked the way it was sounding over the live stream, so I decided I would bring it out for another show. I promise I didn't try to color coordinate, at least not consciously, but I'm realizing everything in the frame is either brown or black or cream colored, and it's pretty funny. All right. So over the past few years, I've been studying something called Nada Yoga. It's the yoga of sound, and it's a practice that utilizes the voice and the chanting of mantras as a focal point for meditation. And thanks to the Connecticut State Troubadour program, I've had the opportunity to share this program now with several communities across the state, so I'm really grateful for that opportunity. So I'm not going to do Nada Yoga with you tonight, but this is a song that I wrote inspired by that practice. My body is an ancient vessel traveled by 4 centuries. She aches and moans, creaks and groans, yet carries on so steadfastly. Oh my body, oh my body, oh my body, I thank you. My intellect is an architect that constructs a world for me to see, with atlases and diagrams, poems and philosophies. Oh my intellect, oh my intellect, oh my intellect, I thank you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my spirit, oh my spirit, oh my spirit, I call upon you. Oh my spirit, oh my spirit, oh my spirit, I call upon you. Pull me together, hands of forgiveness, offer me shelter when there is none. Pull me together, be my wisdom, offer me courage to be all I can. Thank you so much. All right. So I just want to say again, I really appreciate the New Jersey Folk Project hosting me, but also all they do for the music community. I know they do so much for artists of all levels to offer performance opportunities and support their careers. And that's just such a wonderful gift. This is a song I wrote for a friend of mine who was a big organizer in the Rhode Island music scene. Called Portrait of an Artist. You said you should have been an artist, one part Monet to Michelangelo, and your spirit feels like Vincent, a panoramic sky of pigment juxtaposed. Well, I've got news for you, dear friend. You're an artist like no other. The way you'd show but never tell. Each lesson that you taught us, with life outstretched as canvas, and kindness as the brush. You painted seeds of fledgling song with the most fatherly of love in every child at heart. said you should have been a singer, 'cause you've got so much love to share, and words don't do it justice, but a song is getting there. And if you were a singer, you would sing the world awake in chorus with the warblers. You'd sing for what's at stake. Well, I've got news for you, dear friend. You're a singer like no other. Your heart itself is a melody that wove the corner of our world back together. And that melody's still ringing through the voices you inspired. Every nightingale on every block is an echo of your kindness. Without your refrain, I'm sure it would have been much quieter, much quieter. You said you should have been an artist, because you feel just like I do. Maybe that's no coincidence after all. I'm just an echo of you. Thank you so much. This tune is inspired by a story I heard while I was down in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, working on another artist's project. This is a story that was told to me by one of the guys in the studio about a Native American woman who tragically walked the Trail of Tears. The incredible thing about this woman is that when she got there, she decided she was gonna turn right back around and go home. So there's now a wall built in her honor by her great-great-grandson called the Wichipee Wall, which you can go visit if you so choose. And up until a few years ago, he would actually greet you at the wall and welcome you in. This one's called Nanase, Singing River. She appeared as he was dreaming, put her fingers to her mouth. Her body is a phantom, her spirit is a pulse. Like unto the stars, dust she began, and dust returns. He carves it on his heart to write her footprints in the sandstone. And there's music in the water, singing louder than the empire. builds it stone by stone, one for every step. On that dusty trail of tears that took her there and back. There ain't no sign to get there. When you know, you know. Like the singing of that river that led to Lonnie home. And there's music in the water, singing louder than the empire. And I'll say, singing river, her ancestors are calling. So come and lay your footsteps, come and plant your stones, write it on the wall. Our steps are interwoven. If you listen to that river, the truth is overflowing. And there's music in the water, singing louder than the empire. And I'll say, singing river, her ancestors are calling. Let your voice join in defiance. Let our steps be interwoven. And I'll say, singing river, woman of the water. Thank you. All right, so I think I'm gonna play maybe 3 more songs for y'all. I appreciate you so much for listening. This is a fairly new tune of mine. I wrote it about my favorite climbing tree in the backyard when I was growing up. First day, new home, bags not yet unpacked. I ran into the forest, clearing my own path. Met a blue-eyed girl beneath a fledgling tree. We wished for a true friend, the girl, the tree, and me. Family tree grows branch by branch, leaf by leaf, falls, summer, autumn, winter, spring, roots run deep. We grew up in the branches, learned to trust our hands and feet, see from greater heights, fall and skin our knees. From our portal to the heavens, our troubles seemed so small from our throne for little queens. We could see it all. Family tree grows branch by branch, leaf by leaf, falls, summer, autumn, winter, spring, roots run deep. Chainsaws and timber, Jennifer's tears, holding the ache of goodbye to all the years. It seemed a cruel sacrifice, life for the man-made, a thing without a soul, for a life without a say. Family tree grows branch by branch, leaf by leaf, falls, summer, autumn, winter, spring, roots run deep. First day, new home, bags not yet unpacked. I step onto the soil, sow the seedling in. I've learned to trust my hands, and I've learned to trust my feet. My roots run deep. Oh, Elijah, he's a man on the run, though Lord knows what he's been running from. Said he had a ticket to Redemption City. He was just a little late to the gate at the train station. Now I see him racing to the end of the tracks, with the wind in his hair and the monsters at his back. What he's looking for, I hope he finds it. Whoa, Elijah, you're a heart of gold, they just don't realize. They say he's wild as the rising sun, shooting over horizon after horizon. They say he's a straight shot burn, no chaser, and I'm a whiskey shooting gambler for his love. So if you see him racing to the end of the tracks, with the fire in his eyes and the storm at his back, would you tell him he's always on my mind? Oh, Elijah, you're a heart of gold in my eyes. Oh, Elijah, Elijah, oh, Elijah, Elijah. He's only loved a woman by the light of the moon. When his scent is fresh upon his skin, that's when he's gonna get her running. I'm gonna take me on a run for my money. If love is a marathon, I don't wanna quit too soon. I got my ticket to the sky, and I'm calling shotgun when Elijah comes flying by. One day I'm gonna meet him at the end of the tracks, with the mud in my hair and all hell at my back. He's gonna wonder, how'd you find me? Whoa, Elijah. Takes one to know one. That's how I always knew I'd find you down the line. Oh, Elijah, Elijah, oh, Elijah, Elijah, oh, Elijah, Elijah. All right, well, I'm going to play one more tune for you folks. Thank you all so much for sticking around and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. There's no better way to spend a Tuesday night, in my opinion, than hanging out with some musical folks. So thank you again. And thanks again to the New Jersey Folk Project for hosting me, Gary and Kathy, and really everybody who is involved that makes this possible. I'm really so grateful to be a part of it. This has been so much fun. So I'm going to share one more tune for you as a farewell. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. I don't care if you got a degree. I don't care if you work or live for free. What you weigh or what you wear, I am glad that you are here. I don't care if your life's a mess or neat. I don't care what people say about you on the street or where you're coming from. I am glad you got to me at all. I do cherish you as you are. I like the way that you sing in the rain. I like the way that you sit with the pain without trying to hide it. Fade it or fix it the way you're glad you are anything at all. I like the way you go dancing with the trees. I like the way that you let the ecstasy fill the tips of your toes, through your fingers, through your bones, the way you're glad you are anything at all. I do cherish you as you are. Promise me that you'll dare to dream. Promise me that you'll risk full, that you'll be glad that you had the chance at all. Promise me you'll see the beauty in the fall. Promise me you'll always stand back up real tall. That when you're feeling bruised, you won't let it make you cruel. That you'll be glad that you made it at all. Promise me you will cherish you as you are. As you are, 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 as you are. I do cherish you as you are. And that's a wrap. Thank you all again so much, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of the night. Thanks again. All right. Bye, guys.